Now, one of the projects they've been supporting is the Dariel Autism Community Support Programme. That was set up by Hashim Douale to help people in his Somali community after his son Ismael was diagnosed with autism. Hashim, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell me a bit more about Ismael then, please.
Ismael, he's 20 years old now. He's living independently with the support of support workers. And he's been through all the systems. So my experience is growing, my wife and I is growing him up and going through all that because he was diagnosed when he was 8 years old. And you can understand how everything from that age to 20, it changed the system and all that. So we've been blessed to have professionals around us, and we did what we could best for our child.
Tell me what it's like when it comes to things like learning disabilities in the Somali community.
As many other cultures, difficult, for example, autism, we don't have in our language that. And when the first time the doctors tell you, you have to ask them what it's about. And if you are illiterate in English, you are blessed because the doctors can explain to you what it is. But if you put the shoes on someone who doesn't have that language and relying on translation, they couldn't understand and figure out. And also the stigma around all mental health or disability in some cultures is difficult. And sometimes that stigma induces parents to not to seek the help or to be inclusive, to protect their children, not because they want deny, but because of the stigma that's so high, they tend of protecting the child, and that protection makes difficult because while the child is young, it's okay, they can manage, but the child will grow. So we were fortunate because my wife and I we took what it was told us and do the best we could for our child from early age.
So there is a stigma then, and the reason I ask you about this is because we are rich and diverse in our culture here in Leicester. It's something that is celebrated, but yet you still find there is that stigma.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And the only way you can combat is just more information and trying to help those who've been stigmatized. There's no point in talking to those people who want to stigmatize the others because they're ignorant. But what you could do is to offer your services and help and support those who've been stigmatized, who are in that shoes, and trying to tell them that there is other way and make sure that they have the support they need.
Now, Ismael, as you say, is 20 now, Hashim?
Yes, he's 20.
Yeah, and living on his own?
Yes, he does.
So Sophie Pratt, who we spoke to earlier, said this about you and Ismael. Have a listen to this.
Ismael loved to, before he came into the inpatient service, loved to take out the bins across his down his street. So he used to take the bins out. And then when the bin man came, he used to put them all back for his neighbours. So things like that.
He used to do all the neighbours as well?
Yeah.
Well, every street needs an Ismael, because I often forget to do it.
And so we carried that on. So small things like that we carried on whilst we were in the hospital, and he used to take the bins out for us, and he wore a high vis, called it Bobby the Bin Man.
Apparently he's still doing that, is that right? He's moved in and he's helping the neighbours.
Yes, he does. He's in charge of all the 3 houses in that area, and sadly, 2 elderly neighbors are missing him because he used to go in their house and take it out for them to the bin and try. And not only that, that the engagement with the staff when they're taking up the thing, giving them chocolates and things like that, it was his way of saying thank you for taking our rubbish out. So they appreciate it. So they also missing here whenever they come. They say, "Where's that lad?" And I said, "Okay, he's the other side of the town."
What a great way to.
He's tidy. He's tidy. Even if you leave a cupboard open or misplace something, He cannot stand. He will put it back again. He go every room and tell off his siblings, because he's the eldest now. All six children. He tells them, pick up your things, or he pick up for them. So he lacked the tidiness.
Yeah,
that's him.
Well, it's a great way to be recognised by your neighbours, definitely, isn't it? Take the bins out for them. Hashim, I'm talking to you and I see that you have an MBE after your name. So tell me about that. You've been honoured by the Queen.
Thank you. It was 2011, and I took part in the community cohesion at that time, and I'm blessed because I'm not better than many. I was just having people who recognized and recommended me to that community cohesion, because I was a community development coordinator for the Leicestershire Partnership, and not only because I was supporting Leicester City Council and all other agencies, because when the Somali community first moved in here in numbers, it was a difficult time, and I was the one who were trying to help all the establishment and the community to settle. And I couldn't be prouder, because when at your door a letter comes and invites you, would you accept? And you said, is it a joke or not? I had to call the office and say, is it the real thing, or someone is trying to make a joke? And it was 11 years ago now, or 10 years ago. Yes.
Congratulations.
And I took Ismael with me.
Good for you.
At the palace when we were going, and he was perfect, sitting there all 2 hours, and really it was good. But I couldn't do without the community. This is something that it is not only for Hashim; it's for everyone.